This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it, and so do I. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today is Tuesday, October the 28th of 2025, day 301 of the year. And only 64 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Oh, yes, that's what we do. We hang out with our friends and do our stuff, no doubt about that, as everything is going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Anyways, how's the last 24 hours or so been for you? Because that's always an important aspect of everything that we have going on. If we don't start talking about that right away, we're doing everybody a disservice. So let's not lie here as we are talking and doing all of our thingos. No doubt about that. So are you ready? You know, it is the holiday week and people are going, what? What do you mean holiday week? Well, if you're not aware of this, it is definitely Halloween this week.
Need a little company Halloween night?
How did you know?
We'll be scaring things up all night long. Take us with you. We dare you.
Okay, so there you go. We can hang out all night long if you feel like doing so. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about. So if you're not familiar with what we do around here, our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That is just what we do. That is the layout of the land, and that's some of the stuff that we talk about. So we would love to hang out with you and do some things, no doubt, as we are doing this. We call this the Rated R Safety Show. This is our number 1. During 2 and 3, we talk about music and entertainment stuff. So that's the Jay Allen of the Morning Show, but our uno is the Rated R Safety Show. So you'll hear me kind of go back and forth between calling them both things. No, I'm not crazy. At least not certifiable, but that will be stuff that we'll talk about as we going through the process, so keep that in mind. So with that being said, if you want to interact with the show, it's a simple process on doing so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. That will get everything moving and grooving for you and get everything set up. So don't worry about any of that other aspect, because that's kind of the way that it goes. Once you get there, audio, video, and text messaging are the options of the things that you get to do. So that's audio, video, and text messaging, and we'll get everything moving and grooving for you. It's quite magnificent on how easy that system works once you get there. But if you don't see it, you have to go there and kind of take a look and go, oh, now I understand what this dude's talking about. So with that being said, we'll go through this. We'll bring in some professional broadcasters as they are talking about some of the stuff that is going on inside of the world. And then we kind of go from there. So just so you know, we're going to start doing some stuff on Tuesdays. We're going to call it YouTube Tip Tuesday. So before we get into the news, why don't we go ahead and do that? So here's today's tip for you about boosting your charisma.
A super simple way to increase your charisma and your personal magnetism comes down to what I call the 3SP, 3-second pause. You might have noticed that people who rate really highly on charisma have this quiet confidence about them. If you've ever watched an interview with one, you'll notice that they often pause before answering a question. They remain silent, but they maintain eye contact for around 3 seconds. Not only does it convey confidence and self-assuredness, it also gives them time to collect their thoughts, to take a breath, and deliver a really well-considered response. This is a great tip for professional environments, or if you experience any kind of interaction anxiety where you blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. Try out the power of 3SP.
Okay, the power of 3SP. So the next time you're doing your little safety speech there, you got something to think about. So anyways, with that being said, why don't we get into the news right now?
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News, I'm Rebecca Bunzin in Mumbai. At least 3 people have died in Jamaica as it braces for Hurricane Melissa. It's the world's strongest storm this year, bringing torrential rain and winds of up to 175 miles per hour or 282 kilometers per hour. US President Donald Trump says he would extend his visit to Asia if the leader of North Korea is willing to meet him before he returns to Washington. Mr. Trump met with Kim Jong-un 3 times during his first term in office. Mitch McCann reports.
Aboard Air Force One en route to Japan on Monday, President Trump was asked if he would delay his return home to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Mr. Trump replied, "It's our last stop, so it would be pretty easy to do," adding, "If he'd like to meet, I'm around. I'll be in South Korea, so I could be right over there." Mr. Trump raised eyebrows when the two last met in 2019 at the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea, where he briefly crossed the border into North Korea, becoming the first sitting US president to do so. The president was also asked what the US could offer North Korea during any future meeting. He said, "Well, we have sanctions. That's pretty big to start off with. I would say that's about as big as you get."
Officials from the European Union and China are set to hold face-to-face talks on Thursday to address tensions over rare earths. Over the weekend, the European Commission president warned that the bloc was willing to retaliate in response to Beijing's restrictions on these critical raw materials. William Denslow reports from Brussels.
Delegations from the EU and China held a video call earlier on Monday, laying the groundwork for Thursday's high-level in-person technical talks. Heading into those talks in the Belgian capital, a Commission spokesperson said that China needs to act as a responsible partner. China produces 90% of the world's rare earths and argues there's no ban on their export for entities that follow the regulations. But faced with the threat of a shortage of these vital raw materials, Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says the bloc is prepared to use all the instruments in its toolbox to respond.
Reuters reports that Amazon plans to cut as many as 30,000 corporate jobs starting on Tuesday. The company has been trying to slash expenses, which expanded during the pandemic, and increase its use of artificial intelligence. Tony Waterman has more.
Amazon CEO Andy Jassy had warned about the potential for layoffs over the summer. In a memo to employees, he said the company would start deploying artificial intelligence across its operations and that white-collar jobs would be impacted. Reuters is reporting that the cuts may impact a variety of divisions, including human resources, devices and services, and operations. If 30,000 people are fired, it would represent about 10% of Amazon's corporate workforce. The company has downsized in recent years, cutting 27,000 jobs starting in 2023.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Over the next couple of days, we're going to look at the very early jockeying that is taking place in the stakes for America's next presidential election. I know it's still 3 years away, and yet both Democrats and Republicans are already limbering up for 2028. Tomorrow, we'll look at the contention of former Vice President Kamala Harris that she's not done yet. But today, President Donald Trump fueling suggestions aboard Air Force One on Monday that he may seek a third term, despite what the Constitution says on the matter.
I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever.
And his former political advisor Steve Bannon fueling the conversation with these comments made in an interview with The Economist newspaper.
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28. Trump is going to be president in 28. And people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. And the way we finish it through Trump. Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence.
Those breathtaking claims notwithstanding, President Trump also said on Monday that he thought both Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio would be excellent successors in the Oval Office. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
The main news again. At least 3 people have died in Jamaica as it braces for Hurricane Melissa, the strongest storm so far this year. US President Donald Trump says he would extend his visit to Asia if the leader of North Korea is willing to meet him before he returns to Washington. Reuters reports that Amazon plans to cut as many as 30,000 corporate jobs starting on Tuesday. And that is the latest feature story news. Rebecca Bunsen reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans So the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
Some people think Tuesday is an excellent day to wake up and smell the coffee. Other people think,
what an excellent day for an exorcism.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Okay, so let's go into the move and the groove of things, as it is 16 minutes past the top of the hour, doing all the fun stuff that we get to do around here. So don't worry about that. So let's start getting into some news of the weird, because that's just kind of how it goes. Once a Halloween hit, Donald Trump costumes have fallen out of favor in Canada, with costumes shops reporting almost zero demand this year. Shop owners say that Trump's outfits were all the rage back in 2016, but the gag has worn thin, especially after tariffs and the 51st state comments sourced by many Canadian views. Christy Greenfield of Edmonton Theatre Garage said that nobody asked for Trump wigs or orange makeup in ages, noting that most costume shops customers are going for classic looks like clowns and vampires. Oh, so many comments there. In Hamilton, where Trump steel tariffs hit the hardest, shops say that not one Trump costume has been requested this year. Some customers even asked American flags be removed from astronaut suits. Meanwhile, President Trump will be making a Halloween at Mar-a-Lago, hosting his club's annual season opening party. So there you go. Take a listen to this one real quick. An Iowa woman, Marie Johnson Fernandez of Williamsburg, hit the Pick 4 jackpot twice in 1 year, this time bagging $59,500 just months after winning $26,500 from the same game. Her lucky combo, 0101. On multiple tickets, no less. When she saw that the numbers popped up, she said had to blink a few times before celebrating. Johnson Fernandez says that she tries to stay calm when she wins, though she admits a little screaming. The prize-winning money she says that it will be towards her bills and helping others and well-earned cruise next year. So there you go. Multiple times in a year. I mean, are we talking large numbers here? Because this is what I want to know. I mean, 59,500 is a pretty large number to me. I don't know how it is in your world, but I'm just trying to figure out, how does it work for the rest? Just saying. Some things to try to figure out as we are talking. Take a listen to this. David Rush throws water balloons at YouTubers for Guinness World Record. Serial Guinness World Record breaker David Rush just scored his 300th. Let's try that again. 300th record in pelting a guy with 125 water balloons in 3 minutes. Rush teamed up with YouTubers Josh Horton crew with Carson Stankler, bravely volunteering as human targets. The previous record was 114, so Rush smashed it. He called chaotic water fights chaos in the best way. Rush Records tally keeps changing, mostly because he's breaking them faster than Guinness can keep up. So there you go. What do you think there? I mean, it gets interesting. I mean, let's not lie about it and go, oh no, this is stupid. I mean, it's just one of those things that It's pretty interesting as we are talking. Okay, take a listen to this. Let's get a little bit more serious here, because I guess that's what we need to do. The Department of Homeland Security announced that more than 527,000 undocumented immigrants have left the U.S. since President Trump returned to office in January, about 2,000 a day, marking what the agency calls a record-breaking pace. DHS says the administration is on track to deport nearly 600,000 illegal immigrants by the end of the year, which would shatter previous records. Many of these departures include both forced removals and voluntary self-deportations, with about 1.6 million people reportedly leaving on their own since Trump took office. Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaren credited Trump and the Secretary Kristi Noem for the jump-starting the border enforcement. After that, she described as years of weak policy. She said that DHS, ICE, and CBP have just closed the border, but also made historic strides in removing those who entered illegally. So what do you think? Some stuff to talk about, no doubt about this. Okay, take a listen to this. Are you familiar with a brand called Hormel? Well, if you're not, you're about to be. Hormel Foods has issued a massive recall of nearly 5 million. Yeah, I did say 5 million pounds of its ready-to-eat frozen chicken products after reports surfaced that food may contain some pieces of metal inside of it. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food Safety and Inspection Services, FSIS, just in case, the contamination was traced back to metal fragments from the conveyor belt that used for the production. The fragments reportedly measured around 2 millimeters to 17 millimeters. The affected products sold under Hormel Fire Braise label were distributed between February the 10th and September the 19th of 2025 and include bulk chicken breast, thigh meat, and item codes are 65009, 77531, 46750, 86206, and 134394. Hormel said that the recall involves about 215,258 cases, roughly about 4.87 million pounds, but emphasized that none of the products were sold in grocery stores or directly to consumers. They were distributed only to food services operations such as restaurants, hotels, and institutions. FSIS has warned commercial kitchens not to serve the recalled chicken and to discard the affected inventory immediately. Hormel added that no injuries or illness have been reported and confirmed that no other product at Hormel were affected. Well, no shit. Are we going to say, hey, no injuries or anything has happened? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't think somebody's going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, the world's coming to an end.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Right, what did I say wrong? I just said it. I mean, so there you go. Anyways, take a listen to this. President Trump confirmed that he underwent an MRI scan recently at the hospital. The first time that he explained the reason, the second medical exam this year. Speaking aboard Air Force One, the president told reporters, I got an MRI and it was perfect. I don't know what a perfect MRI is, but there you go. He added that his doctor said that the results were among the best they've seen from someone in his age. The visit at the Walter Reed Medical Center earlier this month had sparked speculation about his health since the White House hadn't disclosed the purpose at the time. Trump, who turns 80 in June, declined to share specific medical reasons, directing questions to doctors instead. So there you go. I don't know. I'm just telling you what's there. This is how we share information, because this is the stuff that's going on. So what do you think? I don't know. Okay. So let's talk about this. Last night, the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays 6-5, but the game lasted until 11:50. Let's talk about the winning hit if you care about this.
11:50 in Los Angeles. Thurman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes midnight. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word Game 3 classic.
11:50. So there you go. So let's see. Freddie Ferdinand talks about the game. Take a listen to this.
This was an epic game.
Yeah, I know.
What was it like to be a part of it?
Oh, my. It took a little long. This one took a little longer, but this game was incredible. Our bullpen was absolutely incredible. So, thank you.
What were your emotions like circling the bases?
Oh, my gosh. Just pure excitement. When you grind and fight, and our bullpen and our pitching staff did what they did, to have that go 6 hours and 40 minutes or so, that's as good as it gets.
Hey, listen, if you've hung out here, you know that I am not a huge fan of baseball, but holy shit, a 6-hour game? Oh, my Lord. I don't think that would have been a good time, period. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things. Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old accused of assassinating conservative commentator and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, has been granted permission to wear civilian clothes during the court appearances, but he'll remain shackled for security reasons. Robinson allegedly shot Kirk in the neck with a high-powered rifle rounds inscribed with pro-trans messages during the September 10th speaking event at the Utah Valley University. The attack just shocked the nation and drew intense media coverage, prompting the judge to express concern about the potential prejudice among the future jurors if Robinson appeared in jail attire. Judge Tony Graff ruled that Robinson's right to the presumption of innocence outweighed the inconvenience of civilian clothes, noting that widely circulated image of him in jail gear could unfairly sway the public opinion. However, the judge denied Robinson's request to remove his shackles, instructing the media outlets not to photograph his restraints to avoid sensationalism. Robinson's attorney argued that his previous video hearing, where he was seen wearing suicide prevention vests, led to unfair scrutiny and speculation. Prosecutors along the Utah County Sheriff's Office opposed the full accommodation, citing safety risk. The case mirrors the Luigi Mangione case that they alleged the killer of the United Healthcare CEO, who made similar requests to appear without restraints in court. Robinson faces charges of aggravated murder and related offenses. He has not yet entered a plea, but could face the death penalty by firing squad once the legal execution methods are still permitted in Utah. So there you go. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting one, to say the least, as we are hanging out and talking. Take a listen to this. A fresh diplomatic clash erupted after President Trump canceled trade talks with Canada in response to a controversial ad that was used in 1987 speech by President Ronald Reagan criticizing tariffs. The commercial, aired during the World Series between the Dodgers and the Blue-Ray, angered Trump, who accused Canada of using Reagan fraudulently to undermine the U.S. policy. In reaction, Trump slapped an additional 10% tariff on Canadian goods and announced that he could meet with the Canadian officials, saying that he was very happy with the current deal and would let it ride. The ad, commissioned by the Ontario Premier Doug Ford as part of the $53.5 million campaign, featured Reagan warning the tariffs might look helpful but actually harm Americans in the long run. The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation quickly objected, claiming that Reagan's remarks were taken out of context. Ford later said that they had pulled the ad after the weekend to ease tensions. During the ASEAN summit in Malaysia, former Bank of England Governor Mark Carney took a swipe at Trump, saying that it doesn't pay to be upset. Emotions don't carry you very far, and stressing the need to keep your cool in tough negotiations. Carney admitted that he had spoken to Trump since the fallout, leaving it up to the president to reach out. So there you go. Definitely some things to talk about.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, I mean, what do you think there? I mean, there's so many things going on that it's almost virtually impossible to be able to keep up with everything going on inside of the world of the multiverse. I take a look around and I go, hey, this is what happens here, this is what happens there, and what the hell is going on most of the time, I'm just not sure. So there you go. So let's talk about this because there is always time to go down the path of some things that are going in. So let's talk about this one, and then we'll get into something else because that is kind of the way that we go about stuff. In Brazil, a man tried to fake a carjacking and arson to collect insurance money on his Porsche 911 Carrera, but the plan went up in smoke, literally. He told the police that an armed man kidnapped him, locked him into the trunk, and set the car ablaze, but that he heroically escaped thanks to the good Samaritans. Unfortunately for him, CCTV footage from nearby farm told a different story. It showed the same man calmly pouring gasoline on his own Porsche and then lighting it on fire. Even when confronted, he stuck to his story, insisting that his minor burns were proof of his ordeal. Investigators suspect that he torched the $130,000 car to dodge the outstanding tax debt and collect the insurance payout. They haven't officially charged him, but maybe because setting a fire on your own Porsche is humiliation enough. To top it off, the crime was caught only on camera from miles, a bit like robbing a bank under a drone with a name tag. So there you go. So I guess he wanted a hot deal on a new ride, and there you go. And when your insurance scam backfires, literally, nothing like financial planning like lighting $130,000 on fire. Who needs Fast and the Furious when you got dumb inflammable? Porsche, engineered for performance, not for fire issues. There you go. His getaway vehicle was fire, just not in a good way, and the guy literally gaslit himself. So some stuff to think about as we are talking. Okay, so let's do this one because this one, do we want to do this one yet? Let's hold off. Let me get you one more before we get into what I want to go into. Maybe we'll deem that one the main story. Take a listen to this. In Istanbul, a man named, well, it doesn't matter what his name is, a man and his ex-wife or his wife finalized a divorce that was raising eyebrows and possibly tails. As part of the amicable split, they skipped traditional alimony but added a clause requiring that the husband pay 10,000 Turkish lira, which is about $240 every 3 months, for care of 2 cats. The agreement gives the wife full custody of the feline duo due to the husband foots the bill for their food, vet visits, and presumably all emotional support of those fur balls can offer. The unusual settlement, sometimes dubbed the new type of alimony, even includes an annual cost of living adjustment tied to Turkey inflation index. Legal experts say that this could set a precedent for pet payments in the future divorces, proving that when it comes to splitting up, love may fade, but cats' expenses are forever. Forget child support. This guy's paying for cat support. Meow-imony is an official thing. Yes, the meow was on purpose. Some people pay for college. This man is paying for catnip. So there you go. Okay, I think we're going to get into our main story right now. So let's go ahead and do that and talk about some things that are going on inside of this multiverse of ours.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about this. If you are not aware of this, hopefully you're sitting down. Are you a Gmail user? Well, if you are, I got some news for you. 183 million passwords are stolen in a data breach. A major Gmail data breach has exposed the passwords of over 183 million users. And experts are warning everyone to check their accounts that were compromised. Australian cybersecurity expert Troy Hunt, the creator of what have been Pond, which is HIPB, website, revealed that the incident describing the vast corpus of stolen data totaling about 3.5 terabytes. That's about 875 HD movies worth of hacked info. The breach, which actually occurred in April, includes email addresses and passwords from Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, and other major providers. It's not a single hack, but rather a collection of stellar logs. So there you go. Data that malware siphoned from infected computers and then the spread across the web. To see if you have been affected, users are urged to go to have been PWND, so havebeenpwned.com, enter their email and check for any breaches. If your email appears, change your password immediately and enable two-factor two-factor authentication, that's a 2FA, for added protection. Experts warned that even if your Gmail password wasn't directly leaked, after other logins might have been, like Amazon, Netflix, or even eBay, could compromise of reused passwords. So there you go. If you're one of these people that like to use the same password over and over again, this could potentially be an issue for you. So you might be sitting there for a moment and going, why is this your main story? The reason that it's the main story, because I wanted to talk about something. Let's talk about some of the stuff that happens inside of the workplace. And you know that some of these things happen where things get breached, where things do vanish. And all of a sudden, a lot of people will go, well, don't say anything, or they'll tell everybody and their brother. So there's kind of the two option mode. I will tell you, I worked for an organization, and the organization had what we'll call it a data breach. And let me explain why I'm calling it a data breach. So they had a pretty big provider that had some mountains that some people would say they were made out of iron. And they were supposed to protect paperwork for this group of people. And, you know, they also provided shredding services and so on. But as part of the protection aspect of the paperwork that was there, I had the lovely opportunity to go take a look at some of this stuff that was readily available, to come to find out that all of the paperwork that the organization claimed that was there was no longer there. It was not there at all when I went to go look to make sure that we had every duck in a row. And the organization opted not to tell the people that this was going on. They opted to pretend like all of the data needed to be refilled out because they were changing service providers and they wanted to have a new application. Now, if you've ever worked at a place and after you've been there for a while, they come and say, hey, we need a new app for you. And I'm talking about like an application to fill out. You might want to question some stuff. And the organization decided to do that opposed to telling people the reality of what was going on, that all of their data has been disrupted, and opposed to sitting back and going, hey, let's go ahead and get you some identity protection stuff because we kind of fucked up because there's no other way to put it. They opted not to do that, and they decided to go down the route where they said, okay, we're going to do this from the standpoint that we're going to do this entirely different and not tell a soul on what's going on. And they wanted me to head out portion of that process. Unfortunately for them, I opted not to do that and complained and complained and complained, and I rattled every tree that I could to let people know of what was going on. Now, these people later on inside of my career while being there tried to get me to sign a non-disclosure agreement where I wouldn't talk about any of this stuff that happened at that workplace because of how shitty it was of actually working there. Now, I will tell you, without working at that place, I would have never realized that I needed to go out on my own. Now, this is not for me to sit back and complain about these places. What I'm sitting here and talking about is that sometimes we have some of these breaches that take place, and how we tend to manage them after the fact is very difficult for some. So maybe what we need to give some consideration to is moving forward and being honest with our people if something does occur. I was recently reading that there is that AT&T is going through a issue where there was a huge data breach, and now they're having to pay out to their customers up to $7,500 per person for this breach that occurred. And these are the things that we're talking about here. So take a look around, see what's happening, and see if it makes sense in the long run. Because how we communicate with people about what's going on with data breaches, even inside of our workplace, might be something important.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice. sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an Ultra 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Okay, here we are, 44 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out, no doubt about that. Always a good time when you and I get to do our thing. No doubt about that one. So this right here that you're taking a listen to, this is I Will Survive. This is by Shockface. So there you go. You know, sometimes I sit back and I laugh a little bit about this show and the amount of places that have reached out to me and have asked me to be on their station, but say, can you tone it down a bit? It's not called the Rated PG-13 show. It is called the Rated R Safety Show for a reason. So keep that in mind. Yeah, don't get it, but whatever. Okay, so this song right here, I Will Survive by Shockface, is available on YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, and Pandora, if you want to give it a little streamer-eamer action. We would like to thank Shockface for allowing us to play this here. No doubt about that. So, we're always trying to bring you the music, because I think it's important as we are talking. So there you go. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that is kind of what we do around here. If not, we would be doing other things. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and the people at To Write Love on Her Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. Once you get there, go all the way to the far right-hand side and click on the section that says Find Help. You'll find information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. Let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that is kind of what we do around here. Let's talk about adults are real Halloween addicts. According to the National Retail Federation survey, 58% of adults celebrate Halloween, and nearly half of them wear costumes. What used to be a kid's holiday has become an adult escape hatch, proof that dress-up therapy works at any age, so keep that in mind. In some other news, men versus women costume psychology, a survey by OnePoll found that women choose costumes for creativity and cuteness, while men go for humor or shock value. Let's shock it as much as we can. No doubt about that. That's the way I kind of look at it. I don't know if I really go for humor, but I guess that's just one of those things to think about. So take a listen to this, because I think it's interesting. Call your local police department, line up an interview with a cop to talk about Halloween safety. Contact your local police department, have a cop call into your, what? Call. Yeah, so should we have somebody call in and talk about Halloween safety? Is that something that we should take a look for? Or do you think that we should be secure enough in what's going on? Because listen, whatever we do here in Orange County and Orlando, Florida, might be significantly different on what the hell's going on in Seattle, Washington. And yes, we are a national show, so I understand that it becomes a little bit more difficult. Really, we're kind of a worldwide show, but we'll leave it at that. So there you go. Okay, so should we talk about this? Let's talk about this. Are you ready? Are you ready for some of this? So, Black Friday deals are already being talked about. And here's when Walmart's Black Friday sale will start. Walmart just fired the gun. Walmart just fired the starting gun of the holiday shopping madness, when the 3 waves of deals will be up to 60% off of big name brands like Dyson, Lego, Barbie, Levi's, and Keurig. Many items start under $20, so yes, chaos is expected. So the sales schedule goes something like this. Early Black Friday, November the 14th through the 16th. Walmart Plus early access on November the 13th at 7 p.m. So, main Black Friday sale. Online, November the 25th through the 27th. In-store plus online, November the 28th through the 30th. Walmart Plus early access starts on November the 24th at 7 p.m. And Cyber Monday is December the 1st. Online only, early access on November the 30th. You have to be a Walmart Plus member. Here's some deal highlights. Barbie Malibu playset, $12, normally $22. Dyson V12 Slim Vacuum, $399. Normally $729. TCL 98-inch 4K TV, normally $1,798, now going for $1,000. Ford Ride-On Car normally sells for $600, on sale for $300. Levi's Denim, normally $25, will be on sale for $15. And then Walmart Perks members get early deal access, free shipping, and other benefits. Cost $98 a year after that, after your 30-day free trial. So most of the deals are online first, then in stores. Stores are closed on Thanksgiving, which is on November the 27th. So there you go. I've already started your shop planning if that's something that you're looking for. So don't hate me later. Anyways, here's some John Smalls coming your way right now, talking about the Motivation Minute, because he wants to make sure we all stay motivated.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Sandra. John Locke said, "What worries you masters you." That's great. Now, my wife gets a little annoyed with me because I don't really worry about things. She worries enough for the both of us, though. I try to calm her down, but she still worries. I like to say, just give it to God. He's up all night anyway. Now, I'm not sure who I heard that from, but I've said that many times along the way. Now, I have things that do happen that I probably should worry about, but I do my very best to alleviate any damages that could occur and then move on. If you dwell on the bad things, your whole day is bad. Instead, deal with it as best as you can, then move on. Don't let these things control you.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Russian forces launched a series of overnight drone and missile attacks on Kyiv, killing at least 4 people and injuring more than 20 others.
Emergency crews spent much of the morning clearing debris from several apartment buildings struck in the assault. Ukrainian officials say the attack marks one of the heaviest barrages in recent weeks, with air sirens blaring across the capital for more than 2 hours. President Volodymyr Zelensky renewed his appeal for additional air defense systems from Western allies. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Police in Paris say several suspects have been arrested following the theft of priceless crown jewels from the Louvre Museum earlier this month.
The stolen collection, valued at tens of millions of dollars, included pieces once worn by French monarchs. Authorities credited international cooperation in tracing the suspects, who were captured in coordinated raids across France and Belgium. The jewels, however, have not yet been recovered. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
President Donald Trump has arrived in Malaysia to begin a high-stakes diplomatic tour across Asia, with scheduled meetings in Japan and South Korea later this week.
The talks come as the United States and China reached a preliminary framework aimed at avoiding an escalation in their ongoing tariff dispute. White House officials described the trip as a path to stabilization in trade and regional security, emphasizing renewed cooperation against North Korea's weapons program. Lawrence Keller reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
The federal government shutdown entered its 26th day Sunday, leaving hundreds of thousands of workers still furloughed or unpaid.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warned that funding to pay U.S. service members could run out by mid-November without a new budget agreement. Lawmakers remain deadlocked over spending levels and proposed border security provisions. The White House says negotiations continue, but Senate leaders from both parties admit there is little progress. Jessica Oakley reporting.
A crane collapse at a construction site in Massachusetts on Saturday killed 2 2 workers and injured several others.
The massive steel structure came down suddenly during high winds, crushing vehicles and damaging nearby buildings. State investigators and OSHA officials are examining whether faulty equipment or human error may have been factors in the accident. Local authorities say recovery crews worked overnight to clear debris while engineers assess the safety of adjacent structures. Kyle Norris reporting.
New York Attorney General Letitia James pleaded not guilty Friday to federal bank fraud charges stemming from an ongoing financial investigation.
Prosecutors allege James misrepresented assets and documents related to a 2019 political fundraising firm. Her legal team called the charges politically motivated, while state officials said the Attorney General would remain in office during the proceedings. Kevin Sanders reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Some of the best things in life come to those who wait, but we ain't waiting for shit. Radio Big.
Okay, there you go. 55 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2021, Mark Zuckerberg announces that Facebook will change its corporate name to Meta amid increased public scrutiny over leaked internal documents. That happened back on this date in 2021. Let's take a look at some birthdays that are going on today. Dennis Franz turns 81. Caitlyn Jenner turns 76. Bill Gates turns 70. Lauren Holly turns 62, just in case you were not aware. Julia Roberts turns 58. Ben Harper, 56. Brad Paisley turns 53. Joaquin Phoenix turns 51. And Frank Ocean, he turns 38 today. So just in case you were looking for some things that you wanted to know. Okay, so let me give you some advice for today, if you don't mind. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Emails, dishes, quick task. You'll feel 50% more productive by lunch. Just throwing that out there. If you need some words of wisdom for today, I got some of those for you. So take a listen to this. Be a leader. Remember, the lead sled dog is the only one with a decent view. Oh, you got that now. Okay. Let's talk about this one as well. I gave you words of wisdom. Let's give you some weird facts. Cows have best friends, and they get stressed when separated. Think about it that way. And then if you need to know some weird stuff for today, I got a few of those real quick for you. So let's talk about it real quick. The Federal Reserve will meet tomorrow for the U.S. government shutdown enters its 5th week to decide whether to cut interest rates for a second time since September. Last week's Labor Department released a consumer price index showing inflation rose 3% last month, while inflation remains above the Federal Reserve of 2%. Target. Many economists expect the rate cut for this week. So there you go. That's some stuff you need to know. Anyways, at the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If not, that's perfectly fine. You can hang out here with Sheldon Primus on Safety FM. I will be going over to Radio Big. You can hang out here with Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.